for people to show up for a bit. Wait a minute or two. And in the meantime, I can fix this up while I wait. Look a little bit more presentable. Oh, hey Alex. Since you're the first person here, what would you like me to draw? I'm just messing with this while I was waiting for people. But you're first, so you get to decide what I draw. And while you're thinking about that, I will be messing with this still. This will be my random request stream or something. Let's see. Can take out Mercy. Actually. Hello, no one. Actually, let's move these down a bit. A little bit more. Yeah. So yeah, just let me know as soon as you can. Maybe I'll make that a thing where first person who gets here on my streams or something can ask me like a sketch or something, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. So let's get rid of this first. You and you. Da-da-da. Copy. Actually, don't want copy. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll figure that out a little bit later. But right now, Alex was here first, so I'm letting him decide what I draw to start things off. Assuming he's still here. Oh, there he is. Trying to make this look presentable. There's not going to be any slots, because the whole point of this is that I don't actually draw anything until the rest are made. There we go, that's what I was looking for. I was like, where is that layer? Okay, let's close this. Copy. Paste. Put you on the spot. Yes, I am. I was gonna, or I was thinking about updating some character pics. I do not like how that's going. So maybe I should get a better clip. Delete that. Yeah. Try to grab more. Probably have her too high up, but worst case scenario, I can just doctor it. How about in light of October, something blood orange related? Oh yeah, cool. That's a good idea. Was thinking of updating Chewy Chewy as well, since she still has old ass artwork. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just fiddle around with this. Okay, so you're about this size. So you're here. Just trying to match you with that. Bring it down. I just need the color. But yeah, blood orange is a good idea, so I'll do her in a moment. I can always fiddle around with this later. I'm just getting what I already have and fiddling around with it. So about here. There we go. And then the other panels I'll mess with, so let me just save this as a separate file, so that way if I need to use the old one, it's still there. To save. And we'll mess with that later. Alright, so let me grab blood orange, so that way we have some reference to look at. I was thinking of updating her artwork too, to make her look a little bit more spooky. So yeah, maybe I can do both, like have this be both her updated artwork as well as something spooky. So yeah, let's do both. So like her artwork version will just have the flat colors, and the spooky version I'll doctor it to make it look all creepy. Okay. Not sure how long this stream will be today, but I'll try to go for as long as I can. So yeah, I want her to look a lot more scary. And let's make sure this is alright. Hope everyone else is doing okay. Try not to do too much details with her eyes, since she's most likely going to be covering them with her hair. I think I'll make her wide-eyed in comparison to her siblings. Yeah, we have to go in here on this. Actually, let's pull it back, because I am like way too zoomed in for like no reason. Doing good? So I heard that Tumblr is allowing adult content again, which is hilarious. I mean, to give them credit, they buckled down for a good long time, like 6 years or so. It's amazing that so much time passed already. Actually, I just got a way better idea for her. Have her all leaning backwards, or back a bit, to make it look like she's dragging the scissors. Because maybe I should just have the scissors just be huge. Kind of like Clock Tower. I mean, like, all they really needed was filters and stuff, and if people weren't gonna, like, mark their posts correctly, then the site should be allowed to take action. Like, I don't know, like, I feel there were ways to go about it in the first place before they got all weird and stopped allowing it. But I understand there's a multitude of reasons why companies have to do this. It's just going to be annoying when it hits websites that definitely need the content. Because at the end of the day, Tumblr is just, a posting site. I don't really know if there was any money to be made from it aside from, the website hosting ads, if there was any. But for, like, the users, there was, like, no real benefit to it other than, marketing their artwork or whatever products that they make. Well, it also costed them money to not have the adult content, so it's kind of like pick your poison. Sure, mouth be open. Let's see how she looks with that. Yeah, because I think it was like, the first month or so, they lost like 30% of their users when that happened. And then it just became like not relevant. And then Twitter ended up taking in all of the people who ran away from Tumblr. So many adult content so much adult content started showing up on that. Which, to be fair, there was probably some beforehand, but definitely went up. Maybe our tongue hangs on the side. But, apparently adult content won. Because, like, at the end of the day, what else was there to Tumblr? It was just a posting site. You either allow adult content or you don't. The funny thing was that not too long ago, OnlyFans was almost about to do the same thing. Until backlash from that happened, and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that. Draw her out first. Actually, let's put a little bit more emphasis on. She's supposed to be rather skinny. Yeah, like I said, adult content's always going to be a iffy situation for everybody. Because companies know they make money, but then you have other companies who are trying to keep appearances up. Which is dumb, because everybody knows that people buy whatever. Hello, Sacred. Let's raise the shoulder up a bit. Give her clothes after we establish everything else. Let's round this out first. Give her other eye, even though we're not going to see it. Just do this. Might shrink her head a bit. It's a little too big. Let's fix this up. Most of this is going to get covered up by her clothes anyway. So maybe bend her back a little bit more. because we're trying to make her a little bit unnerving. Maybe I'll give her updated clothing too, so that way it can kind of emphasize her spookiness. So that way it hugs and shows like her ribs more. Hope everyone enjoyed the Nadine art set. Probably not going to see those, but putting them there anyway. Yeah, I would say technically the skinniest would probably be between blood orange and grape. And then probably kiwi would be third. Because I think it'd be grape first, then blood orange, then kiwi. If I'm going off the top of my head. Maybe Nere would probably be up in there. And then probably pineapple, but that's mostly because they're small. True, kiwi currently is definitely not the slimmest at the moment. Look at your feet. Yeah, they're just basic stuff. But yeah, still thinking over what do I want to do about speed paint stuff. Because on one hand, they do take a long time to do, especially when I have to render, because it takes like a few hours to make one video. And on the other hand, it's like, you know, when I'm drawing, it's like recording isn't the hard part, it's just making the video afterwards, because I have to render them, and sometimes I have to compress them, put it into the program, make all of the changes to make it a speed paint video, then render it, then compress it again, and all that takes a while. And maybe I'm just overthinking it. I just feel like it's soaking up a lot of time, and it probably isn't. Or like not taking up as much time as I assume it is. But I don't know, it just feels like it's a big chunk of my time that I could be using on something else. But I don't know, maybe I'll try making one later today, because I'm going to be working on the Patreon poll winner tonight. So maybe I'll try working on that and see how long it actually takes, and then we'll go from there. And then, like, if I ever save up for like another computer, or if my laptop can handle it, then I can try to save programs like that and put them on like another computer, and have that computer render them, so that way my main computer that I draw on isn't being used up for the rendering. Mostly just making the videos, yes. Because like, if I'm already drawing the picture, I can record myself. Like, that part's not hard. It's the rendering out part that takes up all the time. Because when I first record it, it's just like, you know, me drawing it, and I have to compress it because it's like a few gigs big if I don't compress it. And then when after it's done compressing, I take that video, put it into a program to make the speed paint in. So, like, you know, to change the time and add in whatever effects that I add in. Like, usually I show like the finished picture at the end and all that. And then that part has to render, and usually that takes about an hour and a half. The first compression, I think, takes about an hour, because it's like a big long video, because it's like 3 hours of footage, or 2-3 hours of footage. And then after I render out the speed paint version, the speed paint version comes out as like 100 and something gigs on its own. And so I have to compress that, and that is the final video that gets put on YouTube and all that. And that usually takes, I don't know, maybe half an hour, sometimes an hour. So I want to say making one speed paint video roughly takes about 2-3 hours. And I don't like how I did that. So that's the part that's just been bugging me, because I feel like it's a waste. It's wasting time, but maybe I'm just overreacting, and it's not. And it's that, and it's like, I don't know. The videos themselves don't get that much attention to begin with, so it's like, you know, why put in the effort? But then again, it'd probably make more sense to put in the effort, because I don't know, like, for all I know, I am getting traffic for posting them, so it more benefits me than doesn't, I would say. So I don't know, I'm probably just overreacting, overthinking it, because that tends to happen. So it's probably not that big of a deal, and I just assume it is. I'll just do this much, just in case. And I think this is too short. But yeah, like, I could be overthinking it. I think it's just one of those things where, like, if I'm not drawing, then I feel like whatever it is I'm doing is a waste of time. So it could be just that mental space popping in. So it could be just that that's making me feel that way. Let's fix this gene. And then the risque stuff I can't really post publicly on YouTube anyway, so those are hidden. But I don't know. I think I'll stick to it and just keep an eye out on how I use my time more wisely and all that. Or like if I'm at like a point where maybe I'm about to go to bed or something, then maybe that will be the time where I should try to get all that rendered out. So that way I try to optimize my day. That sounds like a better idea. And I know I've tried to do that a few times, so maybe I just need to stay consistent with that. Yeah, like, I know the risque videos get, like, practically no attention. Like, the videos that only show up on YouTube where they're hidden to the $20 tier only people, I know those get, like, I don't know, I think at most, like, 4 views. And it's mostly just the act of making the video at that point. Whereas the public ones for, like, the character polls, like the public ones and all that, those obviously get more attention because, you know, they're public, so more people are viewing them. So, I don't know, like, maybe I should just make those videos public? Although some of them probably can't. Based on certain materials, so I'll have to go through some of them to make sure whether or not they're okay. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll just... I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Because, like, I can always just put them in a set to sell or something, but currently they're just only on Patreon and technically YouTube. Yeah. I think I'll probably just keep it to only doing it for the character poll winner, since those are specifically the only ones getting the most attention. but for ones that are like, you know, the Hush artwork or the Fat Lovers Club ones, those will probably not get them anymore. Just because of how they're supposed to be for the tier specific anyway. So I might as well just focus only on the public artwork to get the attention. Because either way, you know, the Fat Lovers Club artwork is going to get the attention that it's going to get from the people who are interested. So that's not going away. And like I said, in the future, if I do get like another computer, or if I'm able to use my laptop for it, which I don't even know if it'll be able to do it nowadays. Probably not. So I probably have to upgrade. But if I do get another computer, then I can devote that computer to rendering, so that way it doesn't take away any resources from this computer. And then that way I can kill two birds with one stone. So that will probably be the likely solution to that. So I'll just have to wait on getting another computer. But that will probably be the solution to that. But yeah, I can still like probably make like one video. And then luckily the streams that I've been doing, I can upload those because the website or Picardo records them initially, and then all I have to do is compress it, and so that way it's smaller, and then post it, and there's nothing I have to do about that. So that's probably one of the easy things to do. Summon the render gip. That'd be fun. If only. But yeah, so that'll probably be the solution to that until I get another setup. And then that computer will specifically be for rendering. And I won't let it get messed up by the internet. So it'll stay a version. And just to get rid of like any and all unnecessary programs other than editing programs. And then I want to work on trying to work on both Black Circus and I-Hat Volume 2 at the same time. And have one of them get 2 updates a week and the other one get 1 for now. Unless I'm able to do 2 in a week. Or 2 for each. But I don't want to promise something that may not happen. So, we'll see. I was debating on making a poll on which one should get the most attention between the two. Though I would prefer to work on both of them. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll on that soon. Before next week comes around. Widen these up a bit. She has decently big hands. And their tail. I'm going to put her tail a little bit higher up. But yeah, just thinking, and then I've also been thinking of just, weeding out speed paint altogether. At least until I get another setup. And then I could just use the $20 tier for character-specific sets, such as Jam and Nadine. And then I'm thinking of removing the fan art comics from the tier, since a lot of my time has just been focused on my own stuff anyway. So I don't think that's going to be a viable thing anymore. Unless I just decide to do it randomly. And just make them like very short comics. With that said, I would like to finish up the Sonic fan comic that I have on there. But I haven't touched that in age. Well, I've sketched out the next page, but I just hadn't gotten around to coloring it or finishing it. So lots of thinking that I've been doing for how I'm going to treat the set, or treat the tiers. That looks like shit. I'll stop it there. And then put her hair on last. No, it's just a random mature comic that it's like set in the same universe as the fan comic that I have on DeviantArt, but it's not a sequel or anything. It's just in the same universe. So like, if I were to draw those characters in the main fan comic, then that's what they would have been. She has small boobs. But yeah, I'm either gonna try to finish up that Sonic fan comic or just toss them all out altogether. Since they're not at all the focus. And let's get some more music. Let's see. Who is calling me? And I will not be answering that. Yeah, like I'm trying not to scale back too much, but it's just stuff that I realistically are thinking like, if I hadn't gotten back to working on certain things like the fan comics, then not so much like I wouldn't go back to them. Is just I've been prioritizing other things throughout the years, and like stuff like Creamfield and all that has just gotten more attention. And so it makes little sense to focus on something that isn't my own work. It's more just fan stuff. So it's just one of those things where it's like, better off, increasing your own creations rather than piggybacking off of other characters. I mean, there's nothing wrong with fan art. It's just one of those things. But I don't know, like, I'm still thinking it over. Because there has been like some fan comics I wanted to do that I thought would be fun. But I also know, like, nobody wants me to, or nobody would want me to like focus like, oh, I'm gonna work on, I don't know, let's just say, I'm just going to use Sonic as an example. Let's say, I'm working on this Sonic fan comic right now, whereas I can be working on Black Circus, for example. So unless I, like, picked a day in the week to work on something like that, then it just wouldn't make too much sense to me. But I guess that's the whole point of restructuring, so that way I can work on the main comics first, and then if I have that kind of time to work on the fan stuff, then that's the time to do it. Let's go back. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to do too much, and I just need to chill and not try to overwhelm myself with things that I don't need to do. Because the same thing for like the animation GIFs, like I would have loved to work on more of those, especially some of the humorous ones, or like some goofy stuff for the characters to do. But that takes quite a bit of time as well, and I'm just like, Obviously, time is a huge factor for a lot of these things. But I think I should just stick to what I'm best at, and not try to go too crazy. But if I have the time to do anything extra, then that's when I should be doing it, not on a comic's time frame. So yeah, I think I'll just look at how I'm gonna tackle a week. And like I said before, like if I can get one thing done a day, then just prioritize what those things are for those specific days. And then anything extra at the end of the week is when I should work on, is when I can do something like that. So like, if I have, like, let's just say hypothetically Sunday is my free day to do whatever I want, play a video game, whatever, then I can decide whether or not I'm going to spend that time to work on anything extra. So that's the mindset that I'm thinking of. So yeah, I'm trying to make her outfit more tight on her. I was thinking about giving her stitches to make her look more zombie. But then again, I have a few zombie characters for that situation, so I think I'll just keep that off of her. But maybe she can hang out with those characters. And I'll have her drawing or holding the scissors soon. I should probably save this. And we'll just save this as Blood Orange 2. But yeah, like, I'll be working on the Patreon stuff tonight. Probably tomorrow as well, depending on how much I can get done. And then, aside from the last part to the Cookie Road Fox commission, I'll have pretty much the rest of the week to kind of just figure some shit out. Kind of want her ripped clothing to be a little bit high on her. So that way she can be in awkward positions for whoever she stalks. Wraps around her a little bit. Okay, got all that. Gotta do her hair. No, I'm going to start rolling out character artwork a lot more quickly. And the bios can come later. There's a lot of characters I've been sitting on that at the very least I want to have them drawn or updated or whatever. And then any of them that need bios, I can work on that slowly over time, or like whatever day where I would normally upload a character, maybe I'll upload a bio or something instead. Let's make it a little bit more. I've been wanting to draw Blake's family, or the Sinclair family. There's been a few changes here and there. Mainly how I'm going to tackle how each character gets into the Black Circus. Because I want there to be like a certain criteria and try to be consistent. And so far, the only characters that this may be an issue with are Clover and God, what did I name her? Because let me look at it real quick. It's like, crap, what the hell did I name her? Because I gave her a name in Bad Ending. Miss Spellberry, aka Owl. So I was like, shit, I know I gave you a name. So yeah, those two might have issues because I would have to, at least in Clover's case, I would need to amp up some of the events in order for it to make sense on why Clover would be in the Black Circus. Whereas pretty much all the other characters make sense on why they're there. And then it's not like they're the only ones who could ever become Black Circus members. It's just they met the criteria at the time and became members. And if anything were to happen to them, then they'll just get replaced. So it could change over time. And maybe it could be that Clover is there for a while, but then maybe years down the line, Clover is no longer there. Yes, the owl teacher was the character. And then some of the Black Circus members won't have huge stories. Like, some of them will only have, like, one chapter. Because it's not so much like focusing too much on how they got in, but it's just more like the reasonings behind it, or you just see why they're there, and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Some of them will have bigger stories, like Joanne does. I do not know why I have an alarm set for that. And for the most part, Black Circus has remained the same. Some tweaks here and there to certain stories. Like Joanne's has had like small tweaks to it to make it better than how she initially gets into the situation she gets into. Some of them have been toned down so that way they're not too long for like no reason. Or I shouldn't say toned down, but just like shortened. Like their stories have been shortened. And I make one more strand over here. And looks like we got every piece that we needed. She was mostly just making a joke. Like, she wasn't seriously thinking Marcy would be part of the circus. And that was, like, making, Becky part of it at the time. Which she does technically have a card. She just doesn't use it. To make her look spooky. Okay, now I just need to draw her scissors, which I'm probably thinking of just making them gigantic. So yeah. Let's find some reference. And I believe the game is called Clock Tower, not Watchtower. And that is definitely not going to help. How about... yeah, that's better. Look at that. Wrong layer. Because if they're going to be hanging down, then they got to be a different angle. Maybe I should. I will mess with that later. And I can draw her other thumb after I'm done making the scissors. Trying to see how it looked like if she was holding my scissors. Maybe give her some special scissors. Has Blood Orange's sisters ever try to take her clothes shopping? I would say yes. Like, they would try to get her some, like, more colorful clothing. Outside of, like, the traditional garb that they all have. Because they all have, like, different black, clothing. But, they probably try to take her to get something more colorful, and it's just, like, not her thing. It makes her feel embarrassed. She's not very colorful. So I could see her in like a pink dress or something, and she just feels embarrassed and feels weird and awkward. Kind of like what's her name from Hunter x Hunter? Hunter. I think it was Palm, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Like Palm from when she dressed up for the date And this was like before she looked all like normal. She still had like that grunge hair and all that. So yeah, kind of like that kind of situation. I could see that with Blood Orange. And let's fancy this part up. Mine as well. Like if you took Blood Orange to like a more gothic store, then she'd probably be more at home. Or even clothes for a funeral. But she would probably wear the clothing if, like, her sisters, like, begged her or something. It's like, please, will you wear it? And they kind of, like, you know, try to puppy dog eye her, then she'll probably do it. She won't like it, but she'll probably do it. Yeah, like she'll find like something all pink and frilly, and then she doesn't like it, and then she just tears it to pieces to feel more comfortable. Because like technically, Blueberry Jam would not be the one to be all into fashion because she prefers her normal outfit. But for like the other girls trying to dress her, they'll be like, "Oh, you look so cute." Cuts off and makes it like super short, and it's like Jesus, like you're not really hiding much at that point. And if she were to sit in a certain position, you'd probably be seeing everything. Like they'll be like, "Sister, we're trying to get you clothes, not make you look like a whore." Then again, I don't think honestly any of them would say that specific line. Maybe Blueberry Jam, I guess, but even she's like whatever to it all, because she's the type who doesn't understand mortal needs. It's like, oh, you're gonna look hot for immortals, and Blueberry Jam's gonna be like, why? She'd be like, why do I care what mortals think of me? These scissors are probably not accurate, but whatever. Let's give it like a big giant screw. And last but not least, we gotta do the next handle. Unless I just say she's just carrying half a scissors. Half a scissor. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just ever carry only one. One piece of it. And maybe in like when I make her comic, the other half of the scissor is like stuck in someone's dead body, and she didn't bother pulling it out. Or she just has it for show to make it look more scary. Say, ooh, she lost the other part of her scissor on somebody's body. So yeah, let's just kill this shit. Yeah, there we go. And let's just clean up the parts. But yeah, like in a normal conversation, Blood Orange is just like really insecure. I would say she's like she's kind of like what's her name? I'm horrible with names. She's like Kuroki from Watamote. And I don't know, maybe she likes lighting fires or something. She's just awkward. We'll probably have the scissors covered in blood. I want to say that technically Blood Orange doesn't have like a body count. She just likes to torture and mutilate her victims and then heal them back up and let them move on with their day. But she gets the satisfaction of doing God knows what to them prior. That she's not like evil because they're all neutral, but she's like the more scary, like you don't want to be left alone with her situation, kind of like lemon lime. But lemon lime, she'll just like she's still considered neutral, but she's willing to like eat whoever just because she's hungry. It has nothing to do with being good or evil. Let's just see how this looks for a moment. And that's not bad. Let's leave like 2 of them. Yeah. It's like pair her with Apricot and they'll be keeping themselves busy all day. I don't like how that looks. Yeah, I could see Apricot and Blood Orange being cute, just hanging out. Like they go shopping and Blood Orange is picking out all the knives and stuff like that, while Apricot gets the rope. And then you can have like the other sisters just kind of glaring at them, going like, "What the fuck?" And then probably have Blueberry Jam being slightly oblivious, where she's like, "Oh, look, those 2 are being so adorable together," and the other sisters are like, "Yeah." So there we go for that. Probably one of the siblings would be like, "Should we like call the police or something?" And they're like, "No." It's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine." I might brighten up her hair a bit. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense to do. I'll just keep it the same. Thought I had to for a moment. True. Because Blood Orange would want to... would have like a certain pace to it, whereas Apricot would be a little bit more demanding. Because Apricot would be like, "Yes, yes, do it more," and it's like, "You're making this not scary." So there'd probably be like a limit to it after a while, where one or both of them would get bored. Yeah, there'd be probably moments like that, where Apricot just gets too into it, and so it kind of ruins Blood Orange's fun. And I made her hands bigger, so that way she could strangle somebody. And Blood Orange is going to be pretty tall, too. Tall and lanky. So that way she just looks more intimidating. Touch up her feet a little bit. She has bloody red hair. Probably make the teeth and spikes on her tail a little bit more brighter so you can see them. She's very dark colors technically. Like the orange is literally the only bright thing on her. Maybe I'll do the obligatory hot springs episode or beach episode where all the girls go hang out, and then they drag dragon fruit with them, and he's just like, And like if they did go to like a bathhouse hot spring thing, it would just be all the girls on one side and dragon fruit's all by himself on the other side. Like have all the girls do like, I don't know, risque stuff, and then finally when they're done, it's like, oh, I wonder how Dragonfruit's doing, and it cuts to him, and he's just like by himself, going like, what the hell? Or he's just like embarrassed because he's like heard everything that they did. And he just like, fuck me. So he's either gonna be super miserable because he's the only one over there, or he's just stuck with a bunch of guys. Or he heard everything that his sisters did, and he's just like, how do I process this? But then again, he would probably be used to it at that point. Which sister would most likely do a gender swap? I mean, Plum wouldn't have to gender swap. She could just go hang out with him. And when people question, it's like, hey, you can't be here, she just shows off her wang, and it's like, yeah, and then it just confuses everybody. But probably, if I had to pick, the easiest one to do it is Kiwi. So she could probably just hop over there, no problem. Because all the others are a little bit more obvious that they're women. And then technically, Lemon Line would just ooze herself through like the wall or gate or fence, whatever, wherever it is, if she wanted to go hang out with him. But then she'd probably end up eating everybody that's over there except for him. Just ooze into the pool and just pull people under. Clean up her neck. Or I could always just put it in a situation where like all the girls are like, oh, Dragonfruit's over there all by himself, and then they all get the bright idea of just going over there themselves to hang out, and all the guys over, like all the other guys over there, are like, what the fuck? And I don't know, maybe they have like a giant orgy, but then they all get kicked out. I don't know. Just throwing ideas up in the air. If I do something like that, that'll probably be way after their initial comic is done. Or their initial series is over with. That way it would be more like a bonus. And I want to make a roadmap on how the next comics are going to be handled. Okay. I want to make her teeth and claws a little brighter. So that way they stand out more. I'll clean that up in a bit. Actually, that spot right there probably should have a color, so I'll mess with that in a moment. God, I can make a fighting game with just the Greenfield cast alone. Just have them all do their own thing. I do like the fighting game that Kaze Cat's working on, where it's just a cast of fat characters, and some of them have like weight gain techniques. Save. Now I just need to grab Kiwi for a moment. Is that the same color? So yeah, she has more of a tighter outfit on her this time around. Mostly just to show how lanky she is. So she can mess with people. Plus, it'd be very creepy or scary for like to hear her like going through like the air vents or something. You just hear her like spider like crawling. Yeah, I think when I do the spooky version of this pick, I'll have her like walking down like a hallway, and she like sees her prey, and that's what makes her like start chasing. And she probably won't even like run at full speed at first. She'll probably just like stalk them, and you can just hear her dragging the scissor on the ground. Pretty much boils down to like where, like the location of where she is. Maybe this could be like some random cabin in the woods, or not even like a cabin, like a big mansion. It's just in the middle of nowhere, and she could be the one that bought it. Like she just bought a giant mansion just to mess with people. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of money. Oh, blood orange, what are you going to do with it? She just buys an abandoned building. Should just be like money well spent. I think I'll make this lighter gray this time around to offset it. And like Blood Orange likes watching horror movies, so she'll probably get more ideas from watching them. Be like, oh, coming out of the mirror, that's a good idea. And since she has divine powers, she can do it literally. I think it'd be interesting if, like, if the person she's trying to terrorize isn't scared at all, then it kind of just demotivates her. And she just gets all depressed and doesn't want to try anymore. Becoming a horror game villain? Yeah, probably. If she was in a horror game, I would like it for her to, like, change up what she does over time. Where, like, if a tactic isn't working, then she'll change to do something else. Or, like, start making a combination of choices. Or just get, like, super fucking creative. Whereas, like, oh, okay, I'm in this area where I'm supposed to heal, and then all of a sudden she starts coming out of, like, a spot that you wouldn't think is normally threatening. So, like, let's just say, like, a rest area had potted plants all the time, and then finally at a certain point you just notice that one of the potted plants is moving, and then she, like, crawls out of it and starts chasing you, and you're like, what the fuck? She kind of like be the Mr. X of the game. Okay. Now I just need to draw this looking darker. I'm putting blood on her and pretty much done with her. Might put in the highlights that the normal artwork has. And I might call it from there and then work on the rest of it later. So that way I can get the other things out of the way. But first we're gonna... But yeah, definitely this would be like a good Halloween pick of her strolling down the hallways. Can even have her tease. Like, sometimes there might be moments where she, like, doesn't speak, and then other times where she'll just decide to start haunting somebody, and then taunting them with, like, teasing calls, or she's like, "Where are you?" And she probably already knows where they are, like, all the time, but she just wants it to be fun. So she'll pretend to be oblivious. Don't like that. Let's try this again. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, when I can do longer streams, I'll definitely do so. But this one's been kind of going on a little long, probably because of all the redraws and figuring things out. So, let's put you like this. Put this on a different layer. Actually, I only need your hair. I can do this. Yeah, that's fine. That's... So yeah, this will be her. Gonna do more stuff, like I'll probably use the background from her old pick and probably tweak it a bit so that way she stands out more. Although she is a dark character, so probably just try to give her a more darker toned background for her to kind of mix with. I don't know, I'll probably figure it out the way I did with the original. But yeah, this will be her new artwork. I actually like this a lot more than the original. Can kind of compare the two. She looks a lot creepier. But yeah, I think I'll call it for now. I might stream again this weekend if I have the chance, which I probably will, depending on what's going on. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Once I'm done with this, I'll put it up on Patreon first, and then I want to start rolling out character artwork on public sites, because I just want the characters to be more known and stuff like that. And then bios I will get to when I have the chance. I'll try to, because like with the whole restructuring Patreon and all that stuff, I want to pick a day where, I mean, obviously it's not going to take me all day to just post characters and stuff like that. Like I'll probably pick a time frame where I post, I don't know, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 characters, like just their artwork. And then like there might be a time where I'll do that and I'll post bios instead of the artwork or something. So yeah. But yeah, like after I'm done with the Patreon stuff and the last commission I have on my plate, I'm gonna really look at how I'm doing things with Patreon and see where I can make things better. But yeah. Thank you for coming, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.